What's up, my people? I be Douglas here, and you are welcome back to my channel. Firstly, I want to say a huge thank you to you guys. You guys have been super amazing and supportive. Like, I know I couldn't have done this without your love and support. And first and foremost, I want to thank God for helping me to be able to put out such content here on YouTube. And I also want to thank God for using you guys as amazing support and help towards this channel. I don't take it for granted. Like we've got over 4K views so far, and we're almost up to 100 subscribers. That's like another milestone. Like I said, we'll keep celebrating our small wins, and I do not take that for granted. So thank you so much once again. I know in the last video we were like over 75 subscribers, and now we're close to 100. I mean, it means that what is actually happening here, or the content that is being put out here, it's making sense and impact. And as we continue to progress, it's I'll try as much as I can to always keep getting better, getting your feedbacks, and giving you guys what you want. All right, with that being said, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how I was able to achieve this countdown poster design. I did this for my mama, my spiritual mother, Pastor Dr. Mrs. Manuela Izunwa. Before I start this breakdown, if you are new to this channel, you are highly welcome. Do well to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications for future videos. And if you haven't watched my previous poster design breakdown videos, do well to check the playlist link in the description below, and also do well to check the playlist link in the description below, or you can also access it on the screen. All right, so without further ado, let's get to it. This design, like I always say, I always get inspirations for any design I work on. So this design was inspired by this poster design. I got this design on Pinterest, so you could see some similarities of what I was able to achieve there. So I got this design on Pinterest, and then that's how I did that. So I'm just going to be turning off my artboards. I'm going to turn off the artboard 2 so we can focus solely on artboard 1. Turn off all the layers, and then we'll start from scratch. All right, so the first thing I did was to add my background color, and then I now added a lace pattern to this. So this is the original color of this. I downloaded this pattern on Pinterest, so check out Pinterest, just search for lace patterns, you'll see, or flowery patterns, whichever one, you'll see options to this. And I just used I think I used the multiply blend mode, and then I reduced my opacity to 2. So this pattern was actually inspired by the dress of the image, which you are going to see in the course of the video. Next thing I added was this I just made duplicates of it just in case I wanted to make a change. Was this, this will turn this off. How I was able to achieve this the trimming effect, why I trimmed the number on the shape. If you want to know how to do this, you check the first video of the poster design breakdown playlist, where I did the 10 days countdown. You would see how I was able to achieve this. So I don't want to waste so much time in this video, so you could actually finish this and enjoy till the end. So do well to check out that video so you could learn how I was able to achieve this trimming effect of the number on the shape. And then the next thing I added was like a texture to it to give it more life. I didn't want it to just be there and boring. And this texture, this is the original feel of this texture. I used a different blend mode. This is it. It's actually black, so I used the screen blend mode. Like I said, always be like trying different blend modes when you want to achieve something until you see what you want. And then I just reduced the fill to 68%, and then I also reduced the opacity to 22%. So that was how I was able to achieve that. And then the next thing I added was like my write-up. So this write-up there was no point adding I added a drop shadow to it though, but there was no point doing that. um there was no point doing that because this was like the essence of that was to just add to the beauty of the background, right? So this was generated with ChatGPT. It's a birthday message generated with ChatGPT. I just added it there. And then the next thing I now did was to add this image. Sorry, this is locked, so let me turn it off. So yeah, next thing I did was to add this image. So this is the image without filters. Let's remove this. Let's bring this out normally. So yeah, this is the picture. So like I told you, because of this image or because of the dress, that was what inspired. You see the flowery design on the dress. That was what inspired me to use that flowery or lace pattern at the white background. So because of that, I always convert whenever I want to blend my images to my background. I always convert them to black and white. So converted to black and white, and then I think I used the multiply effect, if I'm not mistaken, or the screen effect. Just check out different blend modes. I think I did soft light, right? I did the soft light effect, and then I reduced my opacity to 19, and that's how I was able to achieve that effect there. And then I added a circle. Now this circle was added after I added an image. So sorry that this is coming in first. It wasn't properly arranged. So let me add that picture first. This is the picture. Okay, so this is the picture that I added. It's still the same thing as this one here. This is a picture that I added, and then I added this circle effect. So you draw your eclipse with this option here. Let's go to this option. This is where you access the ellipse tool, and then you select your color, no stroke, select the color, and then you draw your circle. Okay, let's just do that so I can just show you guys. So we draw our circle. I'm going to hold my shift key to make sure I bring out something good. Okay, so then the text effect, you just click on text, and then you make sure that you select whichever font you want, right? Select your color and all that, and then you bring your arrow key here. It has to show this kind of, this kind of cursor, like this kind of curved like dots. You just add it there, and then you just click. You see that the text, it's now wrapped around the shape. You can increase it depending on what you want to write. You can increase it and all that, and then you write what you want to write. So that's how I was able to achieve this. So I just wrote like mama like no other, and so I just duplicated it, right? Just left a space, put my dots, given around space, and then I copied that, and then I reduced the size a little bit, just reduced it a little bit, and then I also increased my spacing, so it can give me a very nice effect. And yeah, that was how I was able to achieve this. And then after that, I just clicked on the number itself, that's the letter itself, and then I brought it inside, just brought it inside here. Yeah, so yeah, that was how I was able to achieve this. So that's how to achieve that. And then the place where you could see the colors changing from black to yellow because of contrast, this is yellow. I didn't want this same yellow to be here. It won't be very, very visible because this is a white background. Okay, so I just highlighted. If I click on that text, let's click on that text properly. So I click on that text. What I just did was to highlight. I just came here and then highlighted this section where I know it was going to be visible. I didn't highlight this other part because the picture was going to cover that already. But where I know that the write-up would show after the image, just highlighted that part, and then I changed the color to brown. Okay, so that was what I did for that. Let's zoom out and quickly. All right, so and then where's the picture? Let me add the picture back. So you can see that that part is not really visible. That part is not visible because of the picture covering it. So I just made here brown, made here yellow. So that's how I was able to achieve that. And then the next thing I then added was the name, Manuela Izunwa. Now, because of her body covering this, I had to like add an outline to this, which I'm going to show you guys. I had to add like an outline to it. So this is it. I added this outline here. I just duplicated the text, right? And then I went to my blending options, right? You right click here, go to blending options, and then you click on stroke. That's how you'll be able to achieve that white outline stuff. So I just went on stroke. Okay. Go to the stroke section here and then make sure it was white. I made it, this is inside. Then I could increase this, but if you increase it, the thickness is going to be much. So I left it at number 2, right? And so the same thing there, because let's zoom this properly so you could see. So you could see that there's like an LA visible there, right? And so same thing too, I also did for the WA. I also added like a WA. Added the WA here. The same thing. But if I disable this was what, if I disable it, this is how it was looking like. If I disable this was how it was looking, because I was trying to arrange it properly. So I wanted to remove out this line, right? So what I just did was to add my layers. I enabled my layer mask. Whenever you want to add layer mask, you just come to this place here, layer mask, and then it will come. And then I used my brush tool to brush off this section here, so this other part will just be visible. I made a duplicate actually, just in case I wanted to make a change, or if I didn't get that properly as I wanted to. So yeah, we're able to do that. And then sorry, my layers are scattered. I just wanted to achieve, just trying out different things to achieve something different from than the usual. And then I added her title here, Dr. Mrs. Added it here, gave it the yellow color. So like if you've watched all through my previous videos, every color I use on my designs are gotten from the image. Either I pick them from the image or I use complementary colors to the image itself. So that's how I was able to do that. And then the next thing I now did was to added a ribbon here. Yeah, added a ribbon here. And then I now used my hue and saturation. I used my hue and saturation to like give me this milk effect. Yeah, just click on, so how you just do this, you can go to adjustments here and just go to hue and saturation, or you can just click on Control U, activate your hue and saturation, and then you can now just start playing with this until you achieve what you want to achieve. So I just played with my hue, played with my saturation and lightness a bit. We also wanted to get that milkish kind of color with the matching the color I was already using. So yeah, just had to do that. And then when I was done, the next thing I now did was to add my days to go. I need to show you guys how I did that days to go. So this is my days to go. So the font that I used, didn't mention that earlier about the name. The font that I used, which is the same font for Manuela Izunwa, is Janeiro. Hope I'm not butchering that name. Janeiro, right? You can get that font on Google. Just search on Google Janeiro font download. Yeah, you can get that. What I did here was to add like my warp tool. So if you want to add warp tool to your image, we're just going to do that right now. So you will see how I was able to achieve that. Let's duplicate. Do I have a duplicate of this? I think I should have one of these things here. Sorry. Let me just show you guys. change this color to white. So I'm going to put days to go. Okay. To put my days to go, and then I'm going to change the rotation to 90. So this is the rotation to 90, right? And then the next thing you are going to do is you click on your transform. Still same way, when you just take your arrow and you just click, it just activates the free transform tool. Or you could, when it's selected, you just hit on Control T, it takes you to the click transform tool, and you right click, you see warp, right? You see warp, so you can change this to, you see different options here. We have arc, depending on what you want to. So because I wanted this to curve, like I wanted it to be on the same curve angle with the number 5, I used this. So this was what I used. So I just added that, and then I now made some reduction of the size. Just did some little adjustments here and there with the size and all that. So that's how I was able to achieve that. Sorry for wasting your time, my people, but I just had to explain these things so that you would understand that it was not magic. There are some things to it. All right, don't know why my system is acting funny today. All right, so let's move over to the next thing. So that's how I was able to achieve this. The next thing I now did was to add the GIC logo, and then I added the date, 16 March. It's still the same font here. Still the same font here. Janeiro, still the same font. Just change the rotation, and then I also now added Manuela Izunwa on top. Made it look like kind of like a pattern kind of thingy, right? So if we bring it down, if we bring this down, this is it. Sorry guys, so this is it, right? I just did this Manuela Izunwa. I did the small and then the capital letter. This is like exactly what is here. That's what I just duplicated here. All right, and then I just took it up a little bit, make it look like, you know, kind of one kind of interesting pattern, made it look interesting. Okay, and yeah, I think that is just basically all of it. I think these other layers here were just layers I duplicated along the way just to keep them as backup in case I wasn't able to achieve exactly what I wanted. I could just go back to it and switch it. And then I now converted all my images, flattened my image to one. You know the shortcut already, Shift Control Alternate E. It merges all your layers to one, and then I also convert to Smart Object before I go to my camera raw. Shift Control dot, that's like the shortcut I created on Photoshop. If you want to do it the other way, you can just right click here, you see convert to smart objects. Okay, and you can just convert to smart objects, and then you go to your camera raw and make changes to how you want the texture. So I always use camera raw at the end of my designs so that I could just, you know, make the design pop a little, make some textures more visible and all that. That's why I always go to camera raw to finish up my design. That's like the finishing touches of my design. So I just added a little this here. You play around with it. There is no particular way of using camera raw. It's just you playing around with it, how and what you want to be seen on the image. I always add the grain effect. Grain is like a noise effect. You can see how it's giving this kind of noise effect. I don't add it too much. I don't add it too much. Just a little subtle this thing here, and then zoom out, and then I come to this section here. You can just play along with it, have fun with it. Don't limit yourself to anything. Increase white if you want to increase white, depending on what you want to achieve, right? So just finish and then you click on OK. So I'm not going to use this effect because I already have an effect that I added on the design. So I'm just going to delete this, and yeah, so this is my camera raw effect. So you could see the difference, see the change between this and then with camera raw added to it, able to get this. So that's how I was able to achieve this design. And then I just duplicated the same design, and what I just did here was my hue and saturation. I just played with hue and saturation. That was just what I did. I played with hue and saturation. So um, after I had created everything here, right, I came to my hue and saturation. Let me do that so I could just show you how I was able to achieve that. So I'm just going to duplicate, merge this to one layer. So like I mentioned in my previous video, if you want to change the color of an image, there are different ways to do it. The color of anything, you could use hue and saturation. You could also use the color overlay in your blend mode, not blend mode, in your blending options, right? So I tried hue and saturation. What I did here, I could just come here straight and select yellow, and then I could start making any change. But I was realizing that what I was doing was also affecting the image as well, because there are some parts of the image that is also yellow, and then I wanted to make some changes to the yellow. So it didn't really give me what I wanted. So what I now did was to now go to my camera raw effect. So I just shift Ctrl A. This is a general shortcut to go into your camera raw. I went into my camera raw effect, and then it took me, so there I went to the color mixer, sorry guys, color mixer. So I then clicked on point color because I wanted to select this particular yellow. Just come and click on point color, and then I started making some few changes. So it is affecting the image a little bit because of some yellow parts, right? It's affecting it a little bit, but not too much, not too much. So you could see, not too much. It's, sorry, the reason why these two things are changing is because I didn't lock that artboard. So because I didn't lock that artboard and I'm applying camera raw, it's just affecting the entire thing. Okay, so you could see now that I'm changing this, and this color is changing, and it's still maintaining some parts of the brownness of the image. So that's how I was able to change it, and then everything concerning yellow on the design was just actually changing color. So that's how I was able to achieve that. And then yeah, so that's it. Let's go back to it. And we have come to the end of this video. If you found this video very helpful, do well to drop a comment below of what you liked about this video, what you learned about this video, and don't forget to also hit that like button, hit the share button, and as well hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications for future videos. If there's something you would want me to also talk about, something maybe you think I didn't really explain well in the course of this video, do well to drop it in the comments below. If you have any other questions, or if you have things you would want me to explain more as a full video, do well to also drop it in the comments below, and I would respond to it as quick as possible. All right guys, thank you so much for watching once again, and have a great weekend, my people. Peace.